Picture this. A middle-aged man, let's call him John, suddenly loses his job. He's got a mortgage, car payments, and a family to feed. John represents many individuals who find themselves in a similar predicament, enveloped by the chilling winds of a financial crisis. His story is not one of reckless spending or frivolous indulgence, but rather a tale of unexpected turns and unforeseen circumstances. John, like many of us, lived a life dictated by monthly paychecks. He worked hard, paid his bills on time, and provided for his family. But his financial world revolved heavily around his job, the primary source of his income, and he didn't have a backup plan. When he lost his job, the financial commitments didn't stop. The mortgage still needed to be paid, the car loan installments were still due, and his family still needed to be fed. The savings account, which was never a priority, was meager and dwindling rapidly. John's situation was dire. He was caught in the treacherous waters of financial uncertainty with no lifeboat of savings or budgeting strategies to keep him afloat. The lack of a financial safety net turned his life upside down. His story is a clear example of how a lack of financial planning and budgeting can lead to a state of crisis when the unexpected strikes. Had John implemented a proactive budgeting strategy, he could have weathered this storm much better. By setting aside funds for unforeseen circumstances, prioritizing savings, and managing expenses, he could have created a financial buffer that would have helped him navigate through this difficult time. But it's not just about John, it's about each one of us. How prepared are we to face a sudden financial setback? Do we have a plan in place that safeguards us from the unpredictable nature of life? John's story is a stark reminder of what can happen when we neglect the importance of budgeting. Now imagine if John had a budget, a financial safety net that could have cushioned his fall. Picture this, a financial plan, a roadmap directing every dollar you earn to its proper place. It sounds simple, right? But it's a tool that can help you avoid financial pitfalls and lead you to a land of financial stability and peace. This, my friends, is the power of budgeting. Budgeting is essentially a game plan for your money. It's like a coach guiding a football team. Without it, the team would be running around the field aimlessly, unsure of where to go or what to do. But with a plan, a budget, each player, each dollar, knows exactly where to go and what to do. Now you might be thinking, budgeting seems like a lot of work. True, it might take some time and effort initially, but once you get the hang of it, it's as easy as pie. And just think about the peace of mind you'll have, knowing you're in control of your financial destiny. Budgeting is not just for those who are struggling financially or living paycheck to paycheck, it's for everyone. Even financial experts swear by it. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Essentially, he's emphasizing the importance of paying yourself first, a key principle in budgeting. Another expert, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, also stresses the importance of budgeting. He says, "You must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you." Powerful words that drive home the message that budgeting is not just about managing money, it's about taking control of your life. As financial expert Dave Ramsey puts it, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So are you ready to take control and tell your money where to go? So how does one budget effectively? It begins with paying yourself first. Let's dive into this concept. When we say pay yourself first, we're not talking about splurging on that designer bag you've been eyeing or treating yourself to a 5-star dinner. No, paying yourself first is about securing your financial future. Imagine this. Your paycheck lands in your bank account. Before you start paying bills, buying groceries, or handling other expenses, you set aside a portion of that paycheck for your savings. That's right, you pay yourself first. It might feel a bit odd at first, especially if you're used to seeing your entire paycheck disappear into bills and other necessary expenses. But trust me, once you start doing this, you'll see a significant shift in your financial health. Now you might be wondering, how much should I be setting aside? A common rule of thumb is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income should go towards necessities, 30% towards wants, and the remaining 20% towards savings. But remember, these are not set in stone. Depending on your income, expenses, and financial goals, you may decide to save a higher or lower percentage. The key here is to make it a habit. Just like brushing your teeth or making your bed, paying yourself first should be part of your routine. It should be the first thing you do when you receive your paycheck, not an afterthought. And remember, you're not doing this to deprive yourself. You're doing it to build a solid financial foundation. You're doing it to ensure that you're covered in case of emergencies. You're doing it to make sure you have enough for your retirement. In essence, when you pay yourself first, you're investing in your future self. It's a commitment to your financial well-being and a promise to take care of your future needs. Remember, paying yourself first isn't about being selfish, it's about securing your financial future. Next, we tackle the task of cutting down on expenses that don't provide value. Now this is where the magic happens. It's about identifying what you're spending on that doesn't necessarily bring you joy or value. It's about trimming the fat. Let's start with the forgotten subscriptions, the unused gym memberships, the premium cable packages that you hardly use. These are the low-hanging fruits of your budget trimming exercise. Start by reviewing your bank statements and credit card bills. Look for recurring charges for services you no longer use or need. Cancel these subscriptions and see how your monthly expenses start to shrink. Next, let's move to discretionary spending. This is the money you spend on non-essential things like dining out, entertainment, shopping sprees. We all deserve to treat ourselves, but it's about doing it sensibly. Ask yourself, is this purchase going to add value to my life? Is it worth the cost? If the answer is no, it's time to put that credit card back in your wallet. Also, consider adopting more cost-effective habits. Instead of buying that $5 latte every morning, why not make coffee at home? Instead of eating out every day, why not try meal prepping? Small changes can lead to big savings over time. Another tip to cut down on expenses is to shop smarter. Look for deals, discounts, and utilize cashback apps. Remember, every penny saved is a penny earned. And finally, remember that it's not about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious decisions about where your money goes. It's about spending on what truly matters to you and cutting out the rest. So go ahead, trim the fat, make your budget lean and mean. You'll be surprised at how much you can save without compromising on your lifestyle. As Warren Buffett wisely said, if you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things you need. Finally, remember to keep a percentage of your income for guilt-free spending. Now you might be scratching your head wondering, wait, isn't budgeting all about cutting back? Well, yes and no. Budgeting is about spending wisely, and part of that wisdom lies in acknowledging that we're not just bill-paying machines. We're human beings who need joy, relaxation, and a little bit of indulgence every now and then. This is where guilt-free spending comes into play. It's a designated part of your budget that you can spend on whatever you want, be it a fancy dinner, a new gadget, a weekend getaway, or simply your favorite chocolate bar. The key here is that it's planned and accounted for, just like your other expenses. So, when you do decide to treat yourself, you're not eating into the money you've set aside for bills or savings. Guilt-free spending is more than just a luxury. It's a mental health tool. It helps to prevent feelings of deprivation that can lead to burnout. It's a way of saying to yourself, yes, I'm taking my finances seriously, but I'm also taking my happiness seriously. This approach promotes a healthier relationship with money. It's not just about restriction and denial, but also about enjoyment and reward. It's about finding a balance between living for today and preparing for tomorrow. But here's the catch. Guilt-free spending isn't about splurging without limits. It's about setting a reasonable percentage of your income that you're comfortable with without jeopardizing your financial goals. For some, this might be 10%. For others, it might be less, or perhaps a little more. The magic number is different for everyone, and that's okay. So there you have it, a simple guide to effective budgeting. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll delve into related topics like investing and debt management. In the meantime, remember to treat yourself every now and then. After all, you've earned it.